WBTV News starts right now with breaking news.
No, it was right around the corner from me.
Could you hear the shots?
Yes, sir, I could.
How many do you think?
I heard several at first, and then I got the word what was going on.
That neighbor shocked after 2 deputies were shot in Watauga County. Glad you're with us here for Primetime tonight. I'm Noreen O'Boyle. We begin with some brand new developments in that breaking news we've been following all afternoon east of Boone. 2 deputies were shot. One of them has been airlifted to the hospital. This standoff is taking place in Hardeman Circle area. Look at this video just into our newsroom. Our Steve Onesorge tells us, as you can see, SWAT teams geared up. They gathered and prayed, then loaded into an armored vehicle. We are not sure where they were headed, but you can only deduce from the scene today that they are probably heading toward the home. We know right now that those deputies have been shot. One, as I mentioned, airlifted to the hospital. Our Steve Onesorge and our Ron Lee continue gathering information for us. Ron, do we know how the deputies are doing at this point?
Maureen, at this point, we simply don't know. Officials out here on the scene tell me that one was airlifted to a Tennessee hospital, priority response. The other is still out here on the scene. Now, in just the last few minutes, a massive amount of officers have shown up here to the staging area armed with long rifles and wearing camouflage. There were also 2 heavily armed vehicles on site. This all started after officials got a call this afternoon requesting a welfare check for a man who had not reported in for work. When officers arrived, that's when shots were fired. Neighbors tell me they heard several shots at the time. No word on the identity of the man that they were checking on. The area where this all happened is completely closed off to the public while they try to resolve the situation. Now, law enforcement has been pouring in all afternoon. I've seen crews from Henderson to Transylvania all trying to get in here to end the situation as quickly as possible. We have several crews out here on the scene reporting on this, and we will bring you the very latest as it develops. Live in Boone, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV. On your side.
Ron, we thank you for that. People who live in the neighborhood were told to stay inside their homes and close their doors and windows. Some of them evacuated. That's the vantage point from Sky 3. Our Steve Onesorge has been on the scene all day long. He has talked with neighbors. So, Steve, did people you spoke to know that neighbor who we believe shot the deputies?
No, they weren't exactly sure who it was at this point. Because nobody has been able to give the information out as to who exactly was the shooter and what exactly transpired inside of that home. Now, the people I talked with said that the law enforcement presence throughout the area, they could see it. Some of them did hear the shots, and then they saw a massive amount of law enforcement moving in, and that's when they knew that something really was up. Most of the neighbors I spoke with really did not want to go on camera and talk about it, only to say that they were glad to see that law enforcement did respond and contain the situation where it is right now, although they were told to get inside, stay inside their homes, or leave the area. One woman I talked with said that it's just a tragedy that something like this happens in this day and time.
People who give us so much and do so much for us, and they are so disrespected, and they sacrifice so much for us, and they deserve better. They deserve better.
Now, that woman is one of many who are trying to help law enforcement this evening. She's involved in an Adopt the Cop program, and she's been calling area churches to help bring some people in to help the law enforcement personnel who are out here in the staging area, and the Billy Graham Evangelistic Ministry Association. Now, they have sent in counselors as well. There are a lot of people here, some people on standby to relieve those on the scene, others that have been on the scene that have come back and are basically having a little bit of time of R&R before possibly they head back to the scene. Now, the SWAT teams did go out there. Now, as to what's going to transpire, they may just want to wait this one out. Authorities have trained for things like this, but every situation is different, and they're hoping that this one will be resolved soon and safely. Reporting live in Boone, Steve Onesorge, WBTV on your side.
We certainly hope so, and you have reported from, sadly, too many of those scenes. We'll look for updates from you, Steve-O. Thank you so much. We're also following some breaking news right now from Fort Mill. York County deputies say one person died in a shooting here at the Sleep Inn Hotel. This is off Carowinds Boulevard, right behind the QT across from the park. They're still looking for a man in a gray hoodie and black jeans that was seen leaving the area. Our Morgan Newell has new information.
County Sheriff's spokesperson told us that this victim was possibly staying here at the Sleep Inn, but he couldn't say if it was his permanent home or not. The call came in just a few minutes before 3. York County Sheriff's Office spokesperson says witnesses saw the suspect. While they investigated, deputies asked people at the hotel to stay in their rooms. I asked if the man was shot inside the lobby where he was found. Investigators didn't know. What he does know is what the man looked like. They described him as a man with a gray hoodie and jeans. He says deputies have a pretty good idea of who it is. Regardless, investigators hope anyone with information will come forward.
This is a highly traveled area in York County and Fort Mill, and if anybody saw anything, car description, person running away from this hotel, we could really use that information.
Now he says that they're hoping what witnesses tell them and the cameras in the area, a bunch of good leads, can help them find the suspect.
That was our Morgan Newell reporting, and we will continue to follow that story. Today, a judge denied the release of body camera video from a deadly shooting in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Deputies there in Pasquotank County shot and killed this man, Andrew Brown Jr. It was 1 week ago today. There have been protests, mostly peaceful, in Elizabeth City ever since the shooting. Last night, several people were arrested for breaking a curfew put into place. Some of our local law enforcement, including deputies from the Gaston County Sheriff's Office, are heading to Elizabeth City tonight to help after today's decision. We'll have much more on this developing story on WBTV News at 11 o'clock. A Lancaster County fire chief now on suspension for 2 weeks after he posted a racially insensitive and some say violent message on Facebook. Francis Butch Gant posted this on his personal account. It reads, "Dear police, stop responding to these black neighborhoods. They will eventually kill each other and the fake news won't have a story." End of that post. Lancaster County officials found out about the post Monday. According to our partners at the Rock Hill Herald, County Council condemned the post as offensive. Gant is apologizing and has done on our air, but after that post was pulled down, Lancaster County officials say he can't have any dealings with the department during this 2-week suspension. South Carolina is close to legalizing firing squads as a form of execution for people on death row. The bill is headed to the House floor for debate. If passed, death row inmates could have a choice to die by electric chair or a firing squad. Lawmakers say this bill can end South Carolina's 10-year pause on executions. Right now, inmates on death row are sentenced to die by lethal injection unless they choose the electric chair. But there is a nationwide shortage of the drugs used for lethal injection. There are 2 inmates on death row right now. One recently received their death order, according to the Department of Corrections.
It's done properly. It involves a shot to the heart that produces almost instantaneous death. The firing squad executions have been botched far less frequently than other methods of execution.
The Democratic senator who proposed the firing squad amendment said in his work as a prosecutor and through research, he found the firing squad is more humane than the electric chair. According to a death penalty research nonprofit, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Utah are the only other states that allow the use of a firing squad. There has not been a firing squad execution in South Carolina since 2010, according to the Death Penalty Information Center. Now on Primetime, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper is following CDC guidelines. Starting on Friday, you will not have to wear masks outside. Our Caroline Hicks explains what the new steps are for the state as we head into the summer months.
the great outdoors just got greater.
A lot of people have been outside without a mask. I haven't had my second vaccine yet, but I've had my first, and I felt pretty comfortable being out in like open spaces without it.
Starting Friday, masks are not required outside.
There's still some recommendations for people who are unvaccinated to, if they're around other people in a big crowd, that it's recommended that they wear a mask, but there is no mandate in the executive order outdoors.
Mass gathering limits are also increasing from 50 to 100 people indoors and from 100 to 200 people outdoors. But capacity limits in businesses like bars and restaurants are not changing until June.
We anticipate lifting mandatory capacity, mass gathering, and social distancing restrictions by June 1st.
Some people want to see the restrictions lift sooner.
Mask mandate gone.
Right now, roughly 48% of the adult population is partially vaccinated. Officials say once we get to 66%, or 2/3 of the adult population partially vaccinated, the indoor mask mandate will end.
We'll have enough protection in our community to hold this virus at bay, to allow us to live with it.
Caroline Hicks, WBTV, on your side.
The no mask mandate outdoors also applies to youth sports, but health officials recommend that unvaccinated kids wear a mask when they cannot be socially distant. Next on Primetime. 3 weeks ago today, tragedy happened to the Leslie family. In honor of the lost loved ones, their family had one request, and their community really came through. Plus, churches are answering the prayer to build more affordable housing in Charlotte. There is a new building going up right now in Uptown.
And Maureen, that is a busy weather map behind me, and so get ready. Cool air is going to slice into this warm air that we have right now. And what about all that rain coming our way? It's part of your weekend First Alert forecast.
Right now, you're looking live at Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, the Duke Energy Center will turn its lights purple to pay tribute to Charlotte's Hester Ford, the oldest living American. She died on April 17th at 116 years old, and her favorite color was purple.
Sponsored in part by Mike Johnson Hickory Toyota. It's 1-800-NEW-TOYOTA or hickorytoyota.com.
Hi, Roddy Player here with Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. Ready for spring cleaning? Why not start with your laundry? Right now, save $700 on our best-selling Electrolux high-efficiency front-load laundry pair with perfect steam and smart boost technology. Plus, exclusively in Queen City, you'll get up to 1 year free detergent with the purchase of select laundry pairs. With $12 million in local inventory, you'll have plenty to choose from. And with same-day or next-day delivery, nobody gets it to you faster. Visit one of our 6 locations or find us at QueenCityOnline.com.
It's our Green Light Sales Event. Drive a new 2021 RAV4 LE for only $169 a month. You've got the green light to savings. Go to ToyotaofNorthCharlotte.com.
Quality at every step is our goal, because our designs last for generations. Architect, designing and building outdoor spaces since 1980.
There was a time when the world felt freshly painted, when meadows blossomed in brush-stroked bloom, and the tulips wove a tapestry of pastel light and morning dew. There was a time when we marveled at the beauty within us and at the art on all sides and all around. It was a glorious time. It was spring. This spring at Biltmore. Awaken to Biltmore in bloom.
We all have something inside that pushes us to do our best. At C&T Foundations, we start every day with a purpose and believe in always doing the right thing. Everything we do it with passion. C&T believes in giving it our all or nothing, taking no shortcuts, and facing challenges head-on. C&T Foundations believes in protecting your home so you can protect what matters most. C&T Foundations.
Buying a new car your way. 31dodge.tv has options you'll like.
Buy from any computer. Click 31dodge.tv. Buy from your phone. Call 888-31-DODGE. Buy in person. 40 acres of vehicles to choose from.
Click 31dodge.tv.
During Ram Truck Month.
Get any 2 of your select breakfast faves for just $4, like the new Crispy Chicken Biscuit.
Live life again. Say no to embarrassing bladder leaks. Stay Dry Centers helps with our new non-surgical, no-drug solution. Painless magnetic waves build back your muscle control and end leaks. Consultations are always free. Stay dry with Stay Dry Centers.
You deserve more than just a check. Revitalize your heating system today.
We continue to follow a developing story out of Watauga County. Sky 3 was over the scene earlier today. 2 deputies confirmed shot while responding to a welfare check. This is in the Hardeman Circle area just east of Boone. Deputies said that they entered the home. The person inside started shooting. Still no confirmation on the conditions of those deputies. We know one was airlifted to the hospital and one remains at the scene. Sky 3 again showing you that huge police presence. Deputies say the shooter is now barricaded inside the home. It remains a very, very active scene. Our crews are there. We'll continue to update you. As we get more information, we'll bring it to you on the air as well as online. You can get much more at WBTV.com. Well, 3 weeks ago, 6 people who were killed during a mass shooting in York County. A well-loved family. 2 of the victims, 9-year-old Ada and 5-year-old Noah Leslie. Their family asked you to honor them in one way.
If you would like to do something for the family, Ada and Noah would want you to stock the free pantries and libraries in your community.
All that love and compassion for the family has showed up in canned goods at the Manna House Pantry. The kid's grandfather, Dr. Leslie, was a board member there. He was also a person who died in that shooting. WBTV anchor Molly Grantham shows us how much love and impact the Leslie family continues to have there.
This is some more items that we've been sorting that came in from the drive.
2,800 pounds of food, now added to the shelves of the Manna House Pantry. These donations came in from members of the community in honor of Ada and Noah Leslie, who, along with their grandparents, Robert and Barbara, were killed April 7th. Dr. Leslie and Barbara, along with other family members, spent many Saturdays volunteering here to make sure no one in the community went hungry.
It's a big void to fill.
Harold Albert is the vice president of the pantry. He says Dr. Leslie wasn't only a volunteer, but a board member. Dr. Leslie joined after his church, First Rock Hill ARP, and Harold's church, Mount Prospect Baptist, formed a partnership back in 2017.
When he got on board, he said, okay. He started looking at the greater need for people that don't have the right nutritious food to eat. And he said, well, have you ever thought about doing diabetes check?
Harold says Dr. Leslie would provide free medical checkups to those there receiving, needing food, and his next plan was to open his own medical room.
He had his table here, had his chair.
And right beside Dr. Leslie, his wife, Barbara.
You come up and she would give you the biggest hug, talk about her grandkids and her kids.
And as true as this quote that Harold says Dr. Leslie would say, he knows his friend, the one he misses just talking with, is still making a difference, even though he's no longer physically with him.
I'm sure he's doing God's work in heaven right now. He's helping the angels, and he's helping everybody he can. And as long as you keep focused on what he was about and what he stood for and what he believed in, I think we'll be okay.
A legacy that continues to live on. Molly Grantham, WBTV, on your side.
A powerful message from him. The Manna House Pantry is grateful for donations. They serve more than 200 families every week. We're going to put a link on our website if you want to learn more about it. Just head over to WBTV.com/webextras. Every time I see that story, and especially listening to that man's beautiful words, I got goosebumps, Eric. We do have the air conditioning blasting in the studio because it kind of ticked up the heat outside today.
Yeah. Maureen, and it's right behind me. It's not hard to find it on the backside of that area of high pressure. We hit 84 degrees today. The low this morning, 62. Both those numbers soaring way above those averages of 75 and 50 for this time of the year. Now, it's not just about the warm air. We have this front slicing through the middle of the country, and it is gathering a lot of rain at the moment. And yes, we will deal with cool air on the backside of it as well. So in the short term, it's all about the warm colors and the warm air, mid-80s today across the Carolinas, but there it is. That cool air will be on the way back, just in time for the weekend. So depending on where you come down on temperatures, maybe you like that. As we get you back down below those 80s for a couple of days, as said, it's going to be lined up perfectly with the weekend. Meanwhile, your Scott Clark Nissan Honda HD Tower Cam, 81 degrees. Okay, the dew point is 59. Now, we're getting into that time of the year again where we start reminding you where that dew point should be if you want to stay comfortable and you want to keep that humidity in check. I'll get right back to that. 71 in Boone. If you're heading out this evening, you're still close to 80 in the Piedmont of North and South Carolina. Let's get back to it, though. How is that comfort factor? Well, the rule of thumb, do you remember it from last year? If you keep the dew point below 60, generally speaking, you're not going to notice the humidity. Once you get above 60, it starts to become noticeable. And those summertime dew points in the 70s, that's when it really starts to feel oppressive. All right, well, let's talk about the chance of rain. As you'll see, yeah, a lot of heavy rain to the northwest of us, but what might have escaped you a little bit, right there, maybe a few sprinkles will be moving through our viewing area during the overnight hours. There it is at 2 a.m. But you know what? If you're out the door tomorrow morning, I don't see any disruptions for you. So just a few sprinkles overnight, 68. But boy, is it going to be very mild here across the greater Charlotte area tomorrow morning. It's going to be mild up into the high country as well. We'll call it 59 up your way. Now, let's go ahead and let it roll through the whole day on Thursday until right there. At the very end of it, you see rain heading into the mountains at 9 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, it's into the mountains and into the foothills. We're going to get back to that in just a split second, let you know what it means for Charlotte. But in the meantime, tomorrow, before that rain gets here, we'll be in the mid-80s, and all of our surrounding communities by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, mid and upper 80s there, about 77. There it is around Boone and Blowing Rock. Okay, you ready? Let's watch this now. 11 o'clock Thursday evening, ready, get set, and boy, kind of flamed out, didn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Here comes the second line. Let's do it again. 1 a.m. Friday, ready, get set, and well, that flamed out too. So it doesn't look like a whole lot of rain is going to get down here into Charlotte. Not to say there won't be any, but it really is going to be drying out. And so if we see any rain, best chance will be tonight and again Thursday night. But the daylight hours Friday into the weekend look to be great. Lower humidity and temperatures in the 70s to near 80. I don't know how it gets any better than that. And then beyond that, Maureen, maybe a shower or two showing up again Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
We'll look for that, Eric. Thank you. Here's what's new at 7:30.
And therefore that petition is respectfully denied by the court.
A judge rules not to publicly release body cam video of the shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. But our Nick Oxner says that doesn't make sense.
And so this is the kind of uneven results that you get when you have a law that's unevenly enforced.
Plus, why are gas prices so high right now? It's tonight's Good Question as we go on your side tonight.
Closed captioning on WBTV News is sponsored by Subaru South Boulevard and Subaru Concord. By Honda Dealers of the Carolinas.
Seatbelts, airbags, impact bumpers, and child safety seats have saved thousands of lives. When you get in your car, buckle up and put down the cell phone because children may be on board.
Dinner's ready!
You would never eat a meal in your damp, moldy crawl space, but you're breathing that same unhealthy, musty air inside your house, making your home and family sick. Call DryPro for a free crawl space inspection and stop living with a sick crawl space.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Get 0% APR plus $1,500 bonus cash on the 2021 Tucson or Kona, or up to $3,500 in savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Let's get ready to sell.
Home selling with OfferPad is as easy as...
Welcome to OfferPad. How can we help?
List with Flex and get our house ready to show.
Ooh, that's home listing with muscle.
House updates to help us sell for more.
Sure. Reno Advance. Our team is on it. When we're through, this place is gonna look amazing. You know, I have this feeling. It's never wrong.
Any way you want to sell, you're sold with OfferPad. Start your free sales request at OfferPad.com today.
We'll pay Kelly Blue Book money on the spot for your used car or truck. Ask for Sean at Chevrolet in Mooresville, Marshall at Subaru, Tim in Hickory, Josh in Wilkesboro, Ryan in Statesville, Steve in Huntersville, and they'll pay you on the spot.
Can't wait to see family, friends, and to get back to your life? Then take care of yourself right now with Novant Health. We're making access to care easier than ever before. Guaranteed appointments within 24 hours when you need them most. Plus easy 24-hour online scheduling and virtual care for virtually anything. And the safest care in the region according to Leapfrog Hospital Safety Grade. Book now and make sure you're healthy when the waiting is over.
It's our Green Light Sales Event. Drive a new 2021 Tacoma Double Cab for only $149 a month. You've got the green light to savings. Go to toyotaofnorthcharlotte.com.
Let Falcone get rid of standing water before the damage is done.
The deals are blooming at Gastonia Nissan, and we're here to save you some green with $4,000 off a new Altima. Or find your adventure in a new Rogue for just $209 a month. Get your fresh ride at Gastonia Nissan or check us out at GastoniaNissan.com. We're closer than you think.
If you've been in an accident and you need the help of a qualified lawyer, call me. Our team of doctors, lawyers, and experienced legal professionals are here to help you. If you think the insurance company's going to help, think again.
Church leaders are partnering with the city of Charlotte to build more affordable housing. Today, they broke ground on a brand new building on the property of Little Rock AME Zion Church. The church is along 7th Street in Uptown Charlotte. Church leaders agreed to be part of the solution and partnered with developer Laurel Street to build housing that people can afford.
It would feature 105 units that would be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and some 3 bedroom apartments, but would also feature 50 affordable apartments. And so that's what we're most excited about, is the fact that 50 of the units of the 105 are affordable.
Construction is scheduled to start next month, and people could be moving in by fall of 2022. On Your Side tonight is next. Here's Jamie.
Well, Maureen, we're staying